Nutrition. It is something that we all battle, whether it is with portion control, whether it is your sweet cravings, whether you feel like you're at a certain age and you just can't lose the weight. I am telling you that unless there is some underlying medical condition that has been told to you by your doctor, not self-diagnosed, then you can lose the weight that you have been trying to lose. And I'm going to share some information about that tonight. I have done everything on earth through the years. I have tried every quick fix diet. I was in and out of Weight Watchers for a long time. And although Weight Watchers did help me at certain points, they kept changing their program so much. So it just became a little rough to navigate their program. But several years ago, and I think this was back in, oh my goodness, maybe 2008, 2009, somewhere around that. I was watching an infomercial, and on that infomercial, I saw something called 21 Day Fix. And you may have heard of this. You may have seen the portion colored containers. It might be familiar to you. It might be totally new to you. But I saw this girl, Autumn, talking about it. And at that time, I was significantly overweight, probably a little over 200 pounds, which I think people that don't know me think that I am not telling the truth when I say that, but I've posted the pictures, you've seen it, so it's true. But I was like, what do I have to lose? I get these containers, there's workouts that come with it, why not try it out? And I will tell you that I stuck to that plan for 21 days. And the reason for 21 days is because it has been researched, even though it varies slightly, that if you can do something consistently for 21 days, it becomes a habit. And I totally stand by that. Whether it is with your nutrition, whether it's with workouts, whether it's with a morning routine, whatever, if you do something for 21 days consistently, you can develop that as behavior. So I went all in with this. At that time, I was significantly overweight. So the workouts that they had, I had to modify because I could not do them at first, really. I really struggled with it. But the plan that they had was very simple but structured. So I brought these to show you because these are the same then as they are now. They've just tweaked the program to make it even better. So you got these color-coded containers. This was for veggies, purple was for fruits, red was your protein, you got 2 orange for your seeds and dressings, blue was healthy fat, yellow was for carbs. Okay, so this was your portion. And when you look at the containers, you would think, oh my gosh, I know I eat way more than that. Because we do. We as Americans eat way more than we need to. We go to a restaurant, they give you this enormous pile of food on your plate, and typically, especially if you were raised that way to clear your plate, you cleared your plate. So you're eating sometimes 2 and 3 portions more than what you should be. So this really gave me a check on what I needed to be eating. The next step was you figured out your formula as to how many portions you should be eating of each food group every single day. And that was based upon a few different factors. Your weight, your age. I believe at that time it was also, they took into account whether you were working out. And then you got a chart that showed you how many containers of each. So I'm actually going to show you that. The reason why I keep saying that it has been changed is because I think it was a year ago, they actually revamped the program for the better. The principles are still the same. You still get the containers. You still are given a certain amount every single day. You still eat every single food group. And I say that and I stress that because a lot of diets today And that's different from like a nutrition plan. A lot of diets today have you cut out food groups. I personally do not believe in cutting out food groups. Now, yes, I have switched over to a vegan lifestyle, but I am cutting out animal protein. I'm not cutting out protein. I'm still getting in protein through other sources, vegetables, carbohydrates, my fats. I'm still getting all of those things in. So I'm not cutting out anything. I don't personally feel like you can live a sustainable diet cutting out food groups. Can you live that way for a little while? Absolutely. Like, people can totally live that way, cutting out stuff for a while, but eventually they're not going to be able to. So that's why this plan is amazing for this. So you'll see, and I'm going to kind of show it to you there. So if you were in plan A, all right, it tells you you're going to have 4 green containers a day. So you're going to have 4 veggies a day. And you think that this might not be a lot, but it really is. It's a big container, and you're having 4 of these, and you can use them any way you want. So you're never told you have to have your veggies at this time, your carbs at this time. You're just told that you have this many containers to work with in a day. And the nice thing is, it gives you a balance with your macronutrients. So you're getting in a well-rounded serving of your proteins, your carbs, and your fats. So that has already been figured out for you. No thought involved. You don't have to calculate your calories, because if you stay within plan A, let's say I'm plan A, I'm going to be eating anywhere between 1,200 to 1,499 calories. That's for my plan A. It goes all the way up to 2,800 calories, depending on where you fall in here. Okay, so you're given these containers. What's next? How do I know what kind of food I should be putting in those containers? Well, that's the next thing. You actually will get lists of healthy food options, and you'll see these are all of my vegetables. There are tons of vegetables on this list. So you are not being restricted from having anything. Okay, the one thing that I always hear from people is carbs. Carbs are bad. I'm going to say this to everyone watching this and everyone that watches this on record. Carbs are not bad. Certain carbs can be bad. Carbs in large quantities can be bad, but carbs are not bad. So stop thinking they're bad. Stop saying they're bad. And when people tell me that fruit is bad, it makes my head want to explode. Fruit is not bad. The reason why people think fruit is bad is because they are watching their carbs. Sugar, natural sugar, is in fruit. So therefore, when you calculate it, when you look at a piece of fruit, it has higher carbs. It is not bad, okay? Just throwing that out there. So when I look at my fruits, I have all of these options, which is pretty much every single fruit on earth you can pick from, okay? Then we look at carbs. You can have healthy carbs. There are carbs that are healthier, that are whole grain, that are higher in fiber, like sweet potatoes, yams, quinoa, potatoes, corn on the cob, barley, popcorn, couscous. Like, there's tons of things you could pick from on here. So you're given choices. You have lists to look from. You do not have to stick to a limited amount of food. You're not on a calorie restriction. You're not cutting out food groups, okay? You basically are told how many containers you're having. You're given lists of everything you can imagine that you can fill those containers with. And then you'll know at the end of the day, if I eat all of these containers, this is the calorie breakdown that I'm in. This is the calorie framework that I'm in. Now, what they've done is they've taken it one step further, and this is what I was talking about. Because when I did it, this is all I was given. Now what they've done is they've actually added a video series with it. So there are about 30 videos that go through things like carbs, proteins, fats. They talk about meal prep. They talk about grocery shopping. They talk about the benefits of following something like a portion control nutrition plan. She walks you through every step of this program so that you are not feeling at any point unprepared, that you are, struggling trying to figure it out. She walks you through all of it, which is amazing. But I will tell you that they have kicked it up a notch, and what they have done is they have actually adjusted the formula for people that are at various intensity levels for working out. So if you're not working out, your Portion Fix containers might look a little different than a person that is working out at a high intensity level. So they give you options for that. They also give you options. I'm trying to find it as I look through this. They also give you options whether you are eating as a vegetarian, whether you are eating as a vegan. They give you those options too. So it's going to look a little different than, let's say, somebody who isn't vegan. There are also options in here for carb cycling, but carb cycling is limited to a very brief amount of time if you are looking to shed weights at a faster pace. It's not something that's recommended that much because a lot of people can't really sustain that, and then it might really mess up their body. So it's nothing really recommended. There's definitely a lot of research that's involved in it, but all of that information is here for you. And then it actually shows you how you can add in things like Shakeology, add in our performance supplements. So all of that is in here, which I absolutely love. So you get everything in this book, and this is the workbook, and this goes along with the videos. Now, another thing that you get, which I love, if you're a person that tracks things, like I said before, you're not tracking calories. You don't have to go and figure out how many calories and fat and protein and sugar and fiber are in this serving of quinoa, and then write it down. If it fits in the container, it's approved, okay? You mark down that you had your yellow container. So the nice thing is you're going to get something like this. If you can see that, you have breakfast, snacks, lunch, dinner, your water, and all you do is you mark off your containers. Like if you had 2 green containers at breakfast time, you just put a 2 in there. And then you're gonna have listed how many containers you get during a day, so you know at the end of the day, do you have containers left over? Have you, already gone through all of them? What do you have to work with? So this is a really nice tracker because it allows you to see everything right in front of you, and you can kind of write down your meals for the day. Another thing that we have is a app that goes along with it. So if you're a person that doesn't like to write, maybe you have your phone with you all the time, you can actually go through and mark all of those in your phone, which I love anything on my phone because I think it's just easier. We are a society now that is constantly on our phones. So I think having an app to track everything makes things so much easier. My favorite though is this. It is the cookbook. Okay, there is a Fixate 1 cookbook. This is the newest one. This is Fixate 2. And any recipe you can possibly think of is in here. This was created by Autumn, who is the person that designed Ultimate Portion Fix, originally 21 Day Fix. And this is her brother, Bobby, who is a chef. So I just want to show you this because I love this. And this actual format comes with all of our nutrition programs. So I love it so much. Okay, so let's say I wanted to, let me get a little more detailed here so you can see. All right, so let me make this. This is a lentil falafel bowl. Okay, let's say that I'm wanting that tonight. When I flip to this recipe, it gives me a code telling me that it's gluten-free and vegetarian. Then it shows me right at the top how many containers I'm using with this, which I absolutely love. Yes, I love the cookbook too. Like the cookbook's the best. And this is oh my goodness. I don't even know how many recipes are in here. This is over 240 some pages. It is everything from breakfast, lunch, dinner, snacks, appetizers, soups, salads, There are alcoholic beverages in here. There are dressings. You can make homemade dressings. There are, let's see, sauces, condiments. There's meals for the holidays. So tons of stuff comes in this. But I want to show you something. So this comes with the Ultimate Portion Fix plan. But I need to show this to you. Any program that we have out now, all of our new ones at least, you will always get something that looks like this. And this is your guide to nutrition. And once you have these containers, you will have a basic nutrition guide to follow that maybe not as detailed as what I just covered, but it actually works exactly the same. And you'll see that you're gonna get those same lists of food in here, and you are gonna get those same recipes and those keys there. See down here? It actually shows Ultimate Portion Fix. So if you are having this recipe, which is strawberry protein overnight oats, I know that I'm gonna use a half of a purple, which is a fruit. I'm gonna use 1 red, which is a protein. I'm gonna use 1.5 yellows, which are carbs. I'm going to use half of an orange, which is your seeds and dressings, and then 1 teaspoon, because you get so many teaspoons with your plan. Typically, those are things like maybe like a dressing or a sauce, something like that. But I love this because almost all of our new programs that we have come with this nutrition guide. And the nice thing is, on our Beachbody On Demand site, we actually have 21 Day Fix in there, so you have access to that first existing program that started all of this. So the only thing you're not going to have access to are the videos, but you are going to have all of these things, all of the information. And that's what I love, because I think that so many people have such a difficult time with nutrition. They don't know where to start. They've tried so many things in the past and they failed. And so they just think like, I can't lose weight. I must have a difficult time losing weight. I don't know where to start. Carbs are bad for me. Whatever the case is, I want to tell you that this is and has been for millions the most successful nutrition program that they have been able to follow, because it changes your lifestyle. It is not a fad diet. It is not something that you're going to do for 6 days, 12 days, 21 days, 30 days, whatever. You are going to see that you can effectively add this into your everyday lifestyle. And the nice thing about the updated Ultimate Portion Fix is that they have a huge library of family recipes. So if you're somebody who is trying to get not only you on board with nutrition, but your family on board, there are so many recipes that you can adapt to that family style dinner that is going to help them to be healthy as well. There is also a kids portion fix so that you can teach your kids how to eat healthy, because I know that that's really hard too. There's so many things out there that kids just like grab. I mean, even my own, and you try to make the best choices for them and help them to understand how to make good choices. But if you can, do this kind of program with them, it'll give them a better idea of how they can make healthy choices. So I just wanted to really talk about that. And I know I shared a lot of information with it, but I just need everyone to know that's listening to this that fad diets are fad for a reason. Okay. The point of something that's fad, it comes in quick, it leaves quick. It's very short term. It is nothing that you can sustain for a long time. It is something that you may bounce in and out of your entire life. You might be able to jump in it one day, lose some weight, and then you fall out of it because you can't sustain it. You get bored with it, you get frustrated, you hit that block of you can't lose any more weight, and then you go back to eating how you were because you're not really learning how to eat healthy. You're just following the fad. Whereas if you're developing a healthy lifestyle and learning how to make those choices, you are going to sustain that for a long period of time. So that is what I want to help people to understand, that if you can find that healthy lifestyle to follow, you are going to be able to follow that longer. You're going to have the success because you are going to lose the weight and you're going to keep it off. And you're going to start feeling better about yourself. And honestly, I think that's sometimes the bigger win. Like, yes, do we want to get on the scale and see the number drop? Of course. Do we want to put on a pair of jeans and have them button and feel comfortable in them? Obviously. Do we want to be able to put a bathing suit on, which I hope to God we're going to be able to, with all of this going on, and feel comfortable and walk around in it? Yes, absolutely. But you need to start in a place of being able to make healthy decisions where you are following a plan where you're not cutting out food groups. There are food groups for a reason. Even if you look at the most basic, what the government has put out with My Healthy Plate, I think that's what it's called. It's covering all food groups. They're in place for a reason. Now, granted, there are carbohydrates that are not as good for you. And sometimes we indulge in them, and that's okay. Like, that's life. Easter, I indulged in some carbohydrates that maybe I shouldn't have, but that's okay because it was that one day I enjoyed it, and then Monday I woke up and I was like, okay, that's done and over with. But I will tell you that I used this plan years ago. And I think I did probably 3 or 4 rounds of it. I just kept, once that 21 days was up, I think I lost maybe 8 to 10 pounds or so, because I was trying to lose a significant amount of weight at that time. I mean, I was over 200 pounds. I rolled into round 2 and round 3 and round 4 until it just became how I was eating. And what you can do with these is that you don't have to pack your food in this and take it, to work or wherever you're going. You can use this as measurements. You don't have to walk into work with all of this. You can use this as measurements so that you know what your portions are and you can control them. And it's an easy way to have control over your food, but knowing you're getting in all of those healthy food groups. So I hope that helps you understand that there are options out there that are easy to follow, will give you that balanced, healthy lifestyle, and will teach you how to make healthy choices. It doesn't have to be hard. A lot of times we make it a lot harder than it has to be because, we focus on counting calories and looking at the fat grams and the fiber and the sugar and the carbs. And I'm not saying that those numbers aren't important, but this plan was designed that if you are eating off of those food lists and using these containers, you are going to have a balanced macronutrient in your day. You're going to have healthy calories in your day if you're following this plan. And if anyone wants more information about it, I'm going to put a link under here. But nutrition is one component of this healthy lifestyle. And I know that a lot of people don't like to exercise or get in movement or work out or whatever you want to call it. But it is definitely another component to a healthy weight loss. And I'm not saying that you have to go and do a hardcore workout. What you need to do is focus on getting in 30 minutes of movement. So if that right now is going outside and walking and that makes you happy, then go outside with your family, with a friend at a safe distance, and get in 30 minutes of movement. If it is one of our workout programs that we have, and we have anything you can possibly imagine, cardio, lifting, dance, yoga, low impact, high intensity, total body, workouts anywhere from 20 minutes to 60 minutes and everywhere in between. Adding in that workout component with your nutrition is going to lock in that weight loss. It is going to amplify it because you are pairing those foundations of healthy weight loss. And I cannot stress that enough. Can you lose weight just following a healthy nutrition plan? Absolutely. Absolutely. But if you are looking to really amplify that weight loss, maybe you have a significant amount of weight to lose. Maybe you have struggled your entire life losing that weight. Whatever the case is, if you pair those things together, I can tell you that you are going to see those results probably a little sooner than you would with just one or the other. The third thing that kind of ties all of that in, and I'm a firm believer in it, and you can agree, you can disagree, I'm okay with that, but it's our third component of Shakeology, and that's what I drink every single day. I drink it as a snack in the afternoon or maybe like an after dinner kind of treat, but that has not only protein in it, but that has your probiotics, your prebiotics, vitamins, minerals, phytonutrients, adaptogens. There are so many things packed into that one scoop. And here's the thing, there's, I think, 16 grams of protein in it. There's 160 calories in it. Carbs, I have to look at, like going off the top of my head, I think it's maybe like 16 grams of carbs. But if you're taking into account the fiber, I think there's like 5 or 6 grams of fiber. It's gluten-free, it's dairy-free. We have a plant-based line, but that is a component to add in to your diet to get in and hit any of those gaps you're missing in any nutrients or minerals that you're not getting in your food. Like there's a lot of people that don't take a multivitamin. I'm one of them. Like since starting drinking this every day, I don't take a multivitamin. I don't take probiotics anymore. I don't take anything except that shake. That's all I take. And I don't use it as meal replacement. There are some people that do, and it is very filling. So can you do that as a quick breakfast? Of course. Like I think it's a great breakfast option, especially if you're a person that's like constantly on the go and you're running in the morning. I think it's a great option. I used to actually do that for a while because I would make it and take it to work with me and like drink it at my desk in the morning. You can blend some fruit into it to get an extra fruit. You can blend in veggies into it. I was adding for a little while collagen. I was adding Power Greens to get in more veggies into it. But that shake alone is the equivalent of like 6 salads. That's how many veggies are in that. See, my mom's saying right now she uses it as a meal replacement. And that's what I did. Like for a while, I used it for breakfast. Now I'm on this like smoothie bowl kick. So that's what I have. I use it in the afternoon between lunch and dinner. When I'm starting to get like that sweet tooth craving, I actually have it in the afternoon because my flavor that I drink is cafe latte, and that hits the spot for me. So I love that, and then I can eat dinner a little bit later. But I think those 3 components together are really what knocked my weight loss out of the park. And I want to share that with you because, I'm very honest, I'm very transparent. I will answer any question you have about anything with this, but if you know me and if you've seen like my stories or any, posts that I talk about, I'm very consistent with these things. And there is not a day that I don't get in my Shakeology, my workouts, and I try to stay on track with my nutrition 95% of the time. Or there's times where, you go a little off. Yes, that's okay. That's life. Like, we're human. We need to enjoy food. It shouldn't be restricting. Like, we should enjoy food. But I just needed to tell you that there are options out there. I know that people feel so frustrated at times and they feel discouraged and they don't know where to start. Or maybe they've gained like a lot of weight and they just, they're feeling down and they're feeling depressed. And now you're dealing with all this craziness. and you just think like, maybe it's not for me. Maybe I'm just meant to like be in this body at this weight, or I'm at a certain age and I just can't lose the weight anymore. I can tell you, you can with these proper tools in place. I'm telling you, you can. And I will help you every step of the way because I've been there and I know what it takes and I know what it's like and I know what it is to need that person to lean on and that support to have. And if you let me, I will be your person. So I hope that I helped in some way. I hope I gave you some kind of information. Hold on, I'm looking because there's a comment here I might be able to answer. Okay, so as far as the containers go, if you have all of these containers, and let's say you don't finish them during a day, that's okay. I mean, the goal is to try to get them in because you're hitting your calorie range. You're getting in your, proper amounts of carbs, protein, and fats. But if you have, an extra green, an extra purple at the end of the day, that's okay. Like, that's not the end of the world. It doesn't have to be time consuming if you just plan a little bit. And I will say this, at first I tried to like pack my food into this and I was like putting all this stuff into my lunch containers. Then what I started doing was if I knew that I was having a salad for lunch, I would like mix out my salad. Like I would put, my greens in there. I would put, some chicken and, whatever else I was adding. And I will say this container right here, I'll hold it this way so you can see it. This is your dressing container. And at first I was like, oh my God, I'm gonna need like 12 of these because we are used to taking the dressing bottle and like squeezing it and squirting it all over our salad. This right here gets you more dressing than you can even imagine. And a little tip, if you typically use a cream-based dressing, like a ranch, something thicker, you can actually, if you take a container of this with the cream-based dressing and you cut it with water, you will thin out the dressing, but you will make more of it. So you're not necessarily adding like all of the calories and fat of more dressing, but you're getting more dressing by adding the water to it. So, fun fact. All right, let me see if there are any more questions. All right, guys. Well, I hope that I, kind of shed some light on the whole myth of, nutrition plans and cutting out food groups, because I am not a fan of the cutting out of the food groups. I believe you need them all. They're there for a reason. It's all about the foods that you eat in those food groups. So I'm going to drop a link in this conversation that just gives you some more information about what I talked about. And if you want to talk anymore, you can message me, you can text me, you can drop a comment here. I'll go back through here to see if I missed any questions. And I hope that helped in some way.